Hey guys, so I want to do a little video on the shortcuts that I use in Lightroom and how to edit this photo. Um, so first, let's go over some shortcuts. If you press G, this displays a grid mode where you can, if I had more photos in my library, I could view all my photos here. And then I use Tab to toggle the left and the right toolbars. This one's useful just for like when you import stuff. Um, just quick settings, you can hide it and you can see what you're doing again. Another useful thing is R. So if you click this photo and you click R, it automatically brings it into a crop. So you can just crop, and if you're interested in keeping the aspect ratio, you can just hold down Shift and then it'll crop. It'll maintain the aspect ratio of your photo. That's if you're interested in that. There's no right or wrong. So then if you're in right now you're in develop mode, you can press G again and it'll bring you back to library. What else? Spacebar lets you preview the photo, and then you click enter. It should bring you to, or sorry, D. If you click D, then you're in develop mode. Okay, so enough of the shortcuts. Let's get right into this photo. So this is Scripps Pier in San Diego. Some information here. It was taken at 9:50 in the morning. My friends were going surfing. I wanted to take some pictures of them. So yeah, I went along and just decided to take this landscape while I was there. Settings are ISO 200, 70mm focal length, f7.1 at 1/320 seconds. So first about the settings, I chose ISO 200 so my shutter speed would be high enough. When you're using a telephoto lens, like a 70 to 200, you want to have a fast enough shutter speed so you don't have camera shake, which would increase like the blurriness of your photo. So generally the rule of thumb is to have 1 over your focal length. So for me, the slowest I could handhold this would be at 1/170, or sorry, 1/70. But I just played it safe with 1/320, and at that speed, there shouldn't be any blurriness, and everything should be pretty sharp. But yeah, 7.1 means it's a pretty sharp place for the lens, like kind of like a sweet spot, and also it's a wider depth of field, so more of the frame is in focus. So if I say I focused on this pier, this little tower here, which is pretty sharp, more of the photo in the back and in the front of that point would be in focus. So at 7.1, I wanted things out in the distance be in focus, like the distant pier, as well as up here with this seaweed, which I actually might crop, but whatever. Yeah, so I wanted a more depth of field, so I upgraded or upped my f-stop to 7.1. And then, so yeah, this is the shot. Clicking R, we get the crop menu, and we see our rule of thirds, these markers right here. And I like the composition. I like the combination of horizontal lines, vertical lines, and this kind of perspective line right here, looking at the deck of the pier. So I don't think I'm going to crop this one. It's pretty spot on. It's pretty straight as well, just looking at it, just eyeballing it. I'm not really a big stickler on zooming in 100% and making sure this is straight. I mean, it's pretty straight, so it's good enough for me. And then looking at this photo, I don't see much color, so I'm actually going to try making it black and white. Here's the before and after. And to see before and after, you can click this button over here and it'll show before and after. Click it again and it'll like split it in half. That's useful, but what I like to use more actually is this key above the enter key. It's kind of like it's right next to the right bracket tool, and if you just click it, it goes before and after really fast, so you can kind of see the changes that you made right away. So here's the original, here's the black and white. Looking at your histogram, you want information to span the entire histogram. That means like there's data in the shadows and data in the highlights, so I want to increase my exposure just a tad, say like that. Since that's so high, I kind of want to bring back the contrast. So you just pump up the contrast a little bit, maybe too much. And then maybe bring the black levels, see right here, bring it back this way a little bit using this slider. Alright, so then now we have before and after. See how more contrasty this is right here, especially. It's a nice photo here, but once you see the after, it's just like wow. So it's pretty much all I can do. I can do a little bit of clarity. You don't want to overdo in clarity because look what happens. Everything just looks way too overdone. There's a little halo effects you see. So yeah, just a little bit of clarity. And what clarity does is it's basically contrast for the middle part of your photo right here, the midtones. Contrast controls the entire the entire spectrum, but clarity is only for the midtones. So it kind of gives the effect of sharpening, but not really. For sharpening, I've already created a preset that I use just to sharpen. Right here, sharpening 1. You can see what it did. Do that again for you. We zoomed into right here and click sharpening. It just sharpens it just a tad. You don't want to over sharpen. It leaves kind of a sharpening residue or something. I can't explain it, but yeah, so it's pretty much all I can do for black and white photos. And the reason I made this black and white again is if you look at the original, there isn't too much color. I mean, there is some gray in here, some turquoise, but to me it looked like a black and white photo. And usually when I make a photo black and white, it's one of two reasons. One, there's not much color to begin with, and two, the colors are really messed up, and I don't feel like trying to color correct it, and I'm kind of too lazy, and I've been working on it for a while, and I just can't get it. I just make it black and white, and everything's better. So this is all I have for this photo. Until next time.